I am a person who does too much most of the time. I work full-time as a software engineer. I'm making a game on the side. I also stream several days a week on Twitch, and I run a little art sticker shop. And then of course on top of it, I'm trying to keep my body healthy and maintain my house and keep all of my pets alive and happy. So this vlog is going to be a look at how I attempt to balance all of that without going crazy or burning out, though I will not pretend to be an expert on avoiding burnout. But let's get into it. Here we are, actually starting on a Monday morning. Welcome to the vlog. Haven't done one of these in a while, and this one's kind of experimental. I'm trying to show how I sort of handle full-time work. I'm gesturing this way because that's where my work desk is. With side work, I do too much, frankly, and I need to figure out if I can cut back somewhere. But I'm going to run you through my day, a fairly normal day. So far, it's about 8:50. I have been working a bit. I typically start work around 8 on weekdays, and then on weekends I try to wake up at a normal time that I would for my day job work, because I find that keeping my sleep consistent throughout the week is better. My brain gets less confused. Every single morning that I have looks fairly similar. I may do like a morning routine video specifically, but I have a series of steps that I follow every morning because we have so many animals that I gotta make sure they all get fed and taken care of. Crowley, will you lay down, please? Speaking of one such animal, there. He's just laid down. There he is. But anyway, the morning routine goes something like this most days. I wake up, do some of my skincare. I have certain things I do, and then I take a break, and then I do the rest. What else? Brush teeth, obviously. Gotta brush your teeth every day. All that bathroom hygiene stuff I do. Then I feed Victor, my bird. Every single morning I have to scrub out his water dish and refill it with clean water. Back into the bathroom to put on like moisturizer and sunscreen, things like that. Then it's time to take this animal, to the yard, which I can't say the words I would normally use because that's like a trigger for him. He gets to do his business. I bring him back inside. He gets a couple of milk bones and a joint supplement they told us to give him since he's technically a senior now. He's an old boy, though you wouldn't know it by looking at him. He has all the energy that he had as a puppy still somehow. Then I start up my computers. Usually I start up my personal computer and my work computer. I check the work Slack, make sure nothing crazy has come up that I need to address right away. And then I go downstairs, I feed the cats. We've just got the 2 cats at this point. We did unfortunately have to say goodbye to one of them several months ago. The only reason I can even talk about it without crying is because it's been 3 or 4 months at this point. I feed the cats. One of our cats, Gray Kitty, the fluffy gray one, he has had gut cancer for some time now. Over a year, I think close to 2 years, maybe 3. He needs a lot of special care at this point, so he gets special food. He gets fed 5 times a day, so I make sure I give him that. We measure out all the food, and then at that point, it's finally time for me to make some breakfast. Most mornings, I like to do a little mobility routine. I actually just started doing this like a week ago, in the morning and sometimes in the evening. This morning, I did not do it because I was gearing up to take a cold shower, which I also don't do every morning. I only do it on mornings where I feel like I really need a kick in the pants. I decided that I would do the cold shower, and this morning it was really cold. I think the dwindling temperatures outside, it's the middle of December, I think that's making the water just much colder than it typically is. It started off really, really cold, and then it was almost like my skin went numb. Now I know it wasn't actually numb, but it was like I adapted very quickly to the cold water, when usually it's kind of a struggle to stay in the whole time. But this was definitely still cold. It was just like my skin stopped responding to the cold temperature. But I only did 2 minutes and got out. So now I just do my work day. It's not going to be very exciting, and I can't really show you specifics about what I'm doing because pretty much everything I do is like confidential, proprietary. So the work day is going to be pretty vague, but I'll try to talk about the types of things I'm doing as I remember. First thing this morning, one of my coworkers is having a problem in a part of the code that I'm specifically familiar with. So I'm looking through, it's an extremely long Slack thread of all these different things that they've tried to debug. So I'm going to read through that. I've been reading through it. It's a long one. And then I'm going to look at the code and see if I can answer the questions that they have. I have our daily stand-up Scrum meeting at 10, so about an hour for that. And then I've been working on a document. Crowley, please go lay down. Go lay down. I've been working on a design document for a new feature, and I'm almost done with it. So I've just got to finish that up and then convert that design document into tickets in Jira. So that's kind of the last big task I have on my plate, and then at that point I will look at the Jira board, consult with my manager if I have to, and figure out what the next highest priority ticket is for me to pick up. But for most of the next 3 or 4 hours until lunchtime, I will be sitting in front of this computer. Unfortunately, I have this standing desk converter. It's been broken for a very long time. We work with what we got, so I'm just sitting all day, and I really miss the standing. At some point I may bite the bullet and just get a new sit-to-stand converter and call it good for a little while, but I've been trying really hard to save up for a little office redesign, rework, so I don't know. Everything costs money and it's always getting more expensive, you know? So I'm gonna go get to work. I will check in a little bit later. Okay, just a little check-in. So one of the ways that I try to balance full-time work, side project work, side hustle work, is by working on my lunch break. I don't do this all the time because some days I literally just don't have it. I don't have the willpower, I don't have the discipline, whatever you want to call it. But what I've been trying to do in the past couple weeks, which you might have noticed if you are a regular on this channel, by the way, you should subscribe and like the video. But what I've been trying to do is explore different kinds of YouTube content, revisit some older formats, try some things, and see what people like, and also see what I like. We're just doing a little bit of social media experimentation, but I've also been trying to increase the consistency again. So if you remember, a couple months ago, I made the choice to go down in frequency on YouTube a little bit to focus on some other things like game development. I'm focusing on YouTube again for a little bit to see how it goes, see how it works, see how I feel. So I've got a couple of ideas in flight right now. So I need to get through the edits because the edits take by far the most time of anything, with the exception of some stuff that's very tedious to record, like long-term game challenge type things, fitness challenge type things. But I'm rambling a bit. I've got my video files in DaVinci. Hopefully it doesn't start crashing again. I had some issues with the Whoop video where it was crashing and I had to restart 3 times. I'm really hoping, since I've rolled back the versions, that I'm not going to have any more problems like that, but I spent the first maybe 20 minutes of my lunch break actually eating lunch, and now I'm going to get into this edit and see how much I can get done before I have to get back to work. And I remembered that we also have a vet appointment for the cat today, so I need to try and get my workout in a little bit earlier so that I'm done and showered before we have to leave for that. So these are kind of some of the things that I do to get some work done when I don't have a lot of time, is squeeze bits of work into the little breaks that I have, but also not get too crazy with it because I don't want to go insane or burn out. So always looking for situations where I can do a little bit of extra work because time is so precious. The day after lunch kind of went by on rails. This tends to happen when we have to run errands like the vet visit But basically, I got caught up in something for work after lunch, had to really rush through my workout, so I didn't get very much footage of that at all. And then we had to be off for the vet, and the vet visit was not good news. It wasn't a surprise that it wasn't good news because Grey Kitty, like I said, has been living with cancer for a long time. But we did kind of get the news that he's declining a bit faster than we thought. He's really not doing very well at all, and so the going through all of the options and talking through it with the vet took quite a while, and then by the time we were on our way back, it was rush hour. So we didn't really get home and get dinner started until like 6:30, which is much later than I like to eat dinner. So the night ended up being kind of a wash mentally. I did manage to get a bit more video editing done, so I was able to get the video completely edited and prepare for publishing. I still had to make the thumbnail and stuff at this point, so it wasn't fully ready. So all the edits were done, and then also my brain was kind of done just doing stuff. So that's when, I'll talk more about this in a moment, but I did decide to extend this like day in the life for one more day, just to get a little bit more of a picture of what a normal day looks like, because this day was a little bit abnormal. Okay, just a little check-in. I was gonna do just one day in my life, but I didn't actually get to any game development yesterday, and that's kind of normal. It's kind of normal to go through the day thinking I'll be able to do one thing and then just not having time. As we saw, the vet visit that we had yesterday took a lot longer than we expected, and it just kind of also was a damper on my mood. I'm not feeling great today, a little bit sad. I just wanted to add a second day that included my streaming schedule to show how it is kind of hard to balance everything. Like, it's not easy to do all the things on my to-do list that I think I can do. And that's part of the reality, which is why I wanted to include it. It's part of the reality to just have things come up, or my mood takes a bit of a dive, and I'm able to push through it to an extent. I got a whole video edited yesterday, but I'm not a robot. I'm not magic. We're gonna tackle today, same as yesterday, just trying to find time to do these little things. Now that my video is done, I can get it published, and then I can focus on game work. Tuesday, we have the added challenge of needing to also make time for stream. So I stream from 7 to 9 Pacific time every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday currently. Maybe I'll switch up the schedule at some point, but it's been this way for a long time. And that's a significant chunk of my evening. I have dinner basically. I have like maybe an hour in between dinner and stream. And then stream is pretty much until bedtime. I can sometimes get a little bit done after stream, but I'm typically very tired, very emotionally wiped out. We're gonna see. For now, I've been working for about an hour and a half. It's about 9:30 in the morning. And I do have some high priority stuff today. If I didn't mention it already, some kind of critical work came up at the end of yesterday, which made it tough because I wanted to get my workout in. We had to go to the vet. So there was not a lot of time to address this critical work, so that's what I'm focusing on this morning. And because of that, lunch may be interrupted. I don't know, we'll see. But this is how it goes, Working all the time, trying to find enough space to relax and refresh my brain. My Whoop also said I'm in the red today, which has not happened in a very long time. It's a challenge. We're doing the best we can though. But I have a meeting to go to, so I will check in a little bit later. One of my meetings got pushed up, so it happened earlier, and it took up pretty much the whole morning, so it's almost 1 now. I ran the dog out, and I fed the kitties. It actually wasn't my turn, it was my partner's turn, but I got a little confused, so I just did it anyway. And then some other things I want to get done today. The game work that I've been pushing off, because I've been so busy. I have my stream later, and then I have some YouTube stuff to finish up, as well as my strength workout, which maybe I shouldn't do given my bad recovery for the day, but I would really like to stay on schedule, so I will probably try to bust that out maybe just go lighter on the weight. But I'm gonna eat this, try to get some game work done during lunch, though I'm feeling kind of emotionally drained today, so I might just watch some YouTube. We'll see. Okay, it's that time of day. One way I consistently get workouts in, and I don't think I really talked about this yesterday because I was in such a time crunch trying to get to the vet, but I always work out at the same time. And it's not really a thing like if I'm having an extremely busy day, I may decide to skip the workout, but otherwise, unless it's absolutely critical that I get some work done or something, I always work out at 3 p.m. And the way that I stick to it is just by not making it optional. I just do it every day, you know? And that probably won't work for everybody, but it has worked for me pretty well. It's not whether I feel like doing it, it's not whether I think I'm gonna enjoy it, I just do it, you know? Shia LaBeouf style or Nike style. And it's working out. So, get it? Working out? Anyway, this is my Speedience, and I wanted to get some video of me using it, but I can see that the camera is dying. So, maybe I'll get some with my phone, but I would like to probably do a whole video on this guy because I'm really enjoying it. But I'm gonna do a strength workout, chest and back, and then shower, and then it might be time to give the cats their meds. If I'm done a little bit early, I will get back to work for a little bit. But that's kind of the plan. My workout went fine. Chest day is really not my favorite, but I did it. I followed the steps and then I was done. And I have trouble vlogging the end of the vlog and sort of finishing up the night. And this is because my nights tend to be very busy. They sort of run one thing right into the other. So I did a little bit more game work. I don't know how much I've talked about what I'm working on this week, but I'm working on a new character for my fishing game. I'm gonna do a whole video about it, I think, about why I am doing this. But I specifically want to get cloth simulation working on this character's cloak. I've been very invested in figuring this out, and I think today I actually got it figured out. It's a very tedious process, and the settings I have now still need some tweaking. Some of the scripts I was trying to use are not working, but I'm kind of seeing a simulation of the cloth. So I have a little bit more stuff to do to make sure this entire system works with my character and with animation and everything, but it's working really nicely so far. My game dev time ran right up into my stream time. I got a little bit in a rabbit hole, so I went directly from game dev to streaming, where I played some Diplomacy's Not an Option. I lost again, but that's life. It was a nice stream, but it went a little long and I started getting a headache. So afterward, I just got the rest of my 10,000 steps in as quickly as I could and went to bed. And I didn't really mention my nighttime routine at all during this vlog, and that's kind of just because I'm focused on just getting it done. But I do have a nighttime skincare routine that I do. I've been very consistent with my skincare and I think it's helping. And I've been trying to take my sleep more serious lately, so I've been trying to go to bed on time when my Whoop tells me I should go to bed. I'm usually late, but I do my best. But there you have it. 2 days of me trying to find balance between full-time work and side project work. As you can see, it is a struggle. Especially since I have spread my attention across so many different projects. I didn't even get into art stuff this week, but that's another thing that I'm always balancing, along with everything else. And I think the thing to take away is not to try to be perfect and check off all your tasks every single day, but rather to take the wins you can get, try and do the things that you have the energy to do when you have that energy. You know, don't try and force yourself to get a lot of stuff done. If you're totally wiped out, use that time to recover. So focus on the things that are the most important, but get rest where you can. But thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I would really appreciate a subscribe and a like on the video. And I'm going to leave on the end screen here a link to another dev vlog, probably one more focused on the dev than the vlog, if you're into that kind of thing. But I'll be back soon with another video, and I hope to see you there. Bye bye!